Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another CZN video. In this video, I want to talk about Chizuru. A lot of people out there think she's a bad unit. And moving forward with this, is she a Meilin? No. Is she a Tressa? No. But the thing is, the player base in this game has been conditioned to play the game a certain way. And that's because of how Tressa's designed and how Meilin's designed, and even, yes, the Luke combos, the full deck discard Renoa combo, you know, the Kayron take 500 turns combo to do a bunch of damage at once. And the community is conditioned by clips of these units doing a bunch of damage, and them doing those clips equates to how good the unit is. I'm not making the argument that that isn't true, because that is true. Arguably, what makes a unit good is how easy it is for them to do those crazy things. On Meilin, it's pretty fucking easy. On Tressa, it's pretty fucking easy. The difference between Luke and Meilin comes in scaling. Luke can do infinite combos, yes. He does really well with Cassius and stacking morale. But one big difference between Luke and Meilin on their power level is scaling. Dance of the Demon, great. Infinite potential, can do a fuck ton of damage. But the baseline for this thing is 57. And it's limited to only attack cards, or the bullets he uses himself. He can generate a lot of bullets. You can play a lot of attack cards that have 0 cost. Bullets also count as attack cards. This lets you play with Cassius using 0 cost attacks to really scale this thing up. Luke only really shines when Cassius is there to provide him with a lot of morale. Meilin doesn't even need that. The scaling on Meilin's kick is literally 3 times what Luke's base scaling is. And this scaling comes from the cost. It costs 2, so innately it does more damage. It's not limited behind attacks, it's limited by passion cards. A lot of, and what makes this even worse is Veronica herself, because she draws more passion cards with passion cards that cost 0. And that's what makes Meilin such a powerhouse. Luke doesn't have that. Okay, if we had some kind of unit that was a Veronica equivalent that was, you know, it used a 0 cost attack. Imagine like this costs 0, it's an attack, and it drew 2 combatant cards. That would help Luke in a way that Veronica helps Meilin. Even so, not as much, because just the fact that it being a passion card, like you could do so much with just being limited behind passion cards rather than just attacks. And then the scaling difference. So Luke isn't on the level. Like, he can do the combo, sure. He can one-shot bosses, sure. But he does not do it as good as she does, period. And the same goes with some of these other units. What does a Dirge bullet look like? Okay, that's actually pretty fucking high. Oh, never mind, it's 80. It's 80%. So still, not on the level as Meilin. She kind of, like, she doesn't need the morale, but it helps a lot, right? Meilin, she can do a lot of damage without even a lot of morale. And she also benefits a lot from multiplicative damage. More so than those other 2 units, right? Because of the base scaling. It's just easier to do on Meilin. And then people, they're all just conditioned to play that way. And then Mika, which is an AP generating powerhouse, they think you have to play the game with, oh, I need a bunch of AP to do everything that I want to do these big combos, etc., etc. So when they introduce a unit that plays the game a different way, some people actually like playing the game in different ways. People are like, this unit sucks. She's D tier. She's worse than Yuki. She's disappointing, etc., etc., etc. But I think this unit's actually very good. I think this unit, she's literally a perfect spot of balance in this game. She could do the content. You could do highlight clips with her. But doing these highlight clips isn't even the optimal way of playing the unit. You could do fancy one-shots with her, sure. But you probably do more damage just playing her normally. People are just so conditioned, oh, I need a lot of AP, I need to play a bunch of cards in one turn. When they introduce a unit that doesn't do that, people are surprised Pikachu face. They're dumbfounded. They're deer in the headlights. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to play the character. They bring her into a deck, you know, and try to fight a boss where they're with their Mika that has AP epiphanies on everything, and they wonder, like, oh, this shit doesn't work. The same thing with Ray. They have snacks because they've been conditioned to play a certain way. You need AP epiphanies on all these 0 cost cards that draw for you. And this is how you do these crazy combos. I was in that camp too. I have like unities with move on them. I have a Ren that's epiphanied with AP. My alt account has Veronica that's epiphanied with AP on her draw cards, etc. And that's just how people are conditioned to play the game right now. So she's just a unit that's introduced to the game that lets you play the game a different way. You're very limited on the resources you have. So you're kind of playing the opposite direction. The way you build a deck around this unit is you want a deck with a lot of 0 costs in it. You still want the draw because it's a card game. Like, you're always going to want draw, but this limits you on your resources. So the way you build your deck is you want to fill your deck with 0 cost and 1 cost cards. Very few 1 costs. Like, you want the epiphanies that bring your cards down a cost, and you want everything to be 0 so you can draw a lot. As you'll see in this little showcase here. See how cheap all my cards are? I don't even want Shuffle in this deck. Arguably, I don't even want Predator's Blade in this deck. Because the whole idea behind her is to be able to play a lot of cards that cost nothing. You can't generate AP over time, so you're very limited in what you can actually play. And you can't just throw out 1 cost card. Oh, it's no big deal. I'm just going to generate more AP over the turn. That's not how this unit plays. You actually have to think about what you're going to spend your AP on. Now that I have my hand here, okay, I have 3 AP to work with. That's it. And I have to play around that. So obviously, okay, so let's get up some morale to buff all of our damage here. Right? My goal is to build this card up. This is how you play the unit. Okay, so I have all these cards here. Let's say I'm playing 111, this one, so it's 000 is a little bit better. Or full house, but that's fine. But now this is 3. We can buff the damage up pretty well. This is my turn too, right? It's at bind 3, 7 hits. I'll get benefit from the healing. It does a good chunk of damage. I get the card back. It's not an insane, crazy fucking... Like, why did I get no crits? You know, crazy, off the walls, bonkers, holy shit, I one-shot the boss. But the playstyle in itself is fun. Okay, so here I am again. I need to build this up. I have a weakness stack that I need to get rid of. So it kind of requires me to think about my gameplay. This costs 0, but I have Joker first. Let's keep my cards at 5. Let's go ahead and grab this. Pray I grab Portrait of Fury out of it. Draw. Okay, I got this, which is kind of unfortunate. And the last card got sucked into this. So, kind of a weaker turn. So let's go ahead and throw up our buff the first turn, right? Buffs my Oni Hunt. Oh, we got morale epiphanied here. So we're going to get more morale up before we hit the other cards. Then we're going to hit both of these. Benefit from the morale. This is back to 3. Got it up to 4. We hit with it again. It comes back to our hand thanks to E2. We get 1 crit there. I don't know. I have literally over 40% crit, and I'm only critting 1 in fucking 6 hits. But I'm not just like, okay, draw, draw, draw. Okay, I have infinite AP to work with. Okay, let me just dump my entire hand. Let me keep stacking up, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm not doing that with this character. I do the same thing again. I'm going to grab Confiscation again. Hopefully I draw my Portrait of Fury this time. Puts me at 4 cards. I don't. So that's just unfortunate. I don't know. Like, stop giving me this card, please. So this will be a turn where I can't really do much. Because I can't stack it up. And in card games, you're supposed to have dead turns. At least in a game that involves as much RNG as this. Like, you can completely like, this is an RNG deck builder. To have the expectation that you can build the perfect deck. And I don't think 0 deck units should be a thing in the game. I think that is optimizing the fun out of the game. Because randomness is fun, in my opinion. Okay, this is kind of a dead turn too. But that's supposed to be the challenge in this boss fight. Okay, he's going to heal this turn, so I'm just going to hold this. Yes, you can kill the boss in 1 turn with Tressa. How is that fun to anybody? Other than, you know, the first time you do it, great, you accomplished it. You're going to come and redo the boss fight for fun with the same exact thing over and over and over again? Or are you going to come in here with different units and actually play the game? And that's like the challenge I just present to like anybody watching this video. What do you find more fun? Because for me, I enjoy playing different things. I don't want to come in, like, I could come in here and kill the boss with melee easily. Every single time. But if, how does that affect the replayability? Can you crit? There's a couple crits in there. Like, what's that do for the replayability of the game? If you just play one character, one-shot all the new content, and then that's all you do for the entire game. Okay, maybe my combo will actually work this time. Can you stop giving me ecstasy? Okay, 3 times in a row, I failed that 50-50. Sick. But like I said, in Chizuru's playstyle, she wants 0-cost cards. This is, and I don't even have the optimized deck on her. If I had draw on this card, she would be so much fucking better. Because imagine me drawing 2 cards here. That's how you want to build her. That's what you want. But the unit plays completely fine. People are just conditioned to play the game with this busted ass shit that shouldn't even be in the game in the first place. You try the combo again. Surely this time I draw the Portrait of Fury and I can draw more cards. I do! Crazy. But thanks for coming to my TED Talk, guys. Chizuru is completely fine. People are just conditioned to play with busted ass shit that shouldn't even exist. There's characters in this game that are severely overtuned. And personally, I think they need, instead of releasing bosses that gimp these characters, they just need to fucking nerf the character. And I'm not even saying gut the character. There should be no limitless combo. There just shouldn't be. There should be no Exodia in this game. Because, let's be honest, guys, that shit isn't fucking fun in the first place. You do it once, cool, I one-shot the boss. Let me upload a clip on it. Let me post it on Reddit and get 500 updates. And then let the comments fill with, this unit's busted, etc., etc. Sure, it's fun. It farms clips. But for longevity of the game, it's not healthy. It's just not. I want them to continue releasing units that are good balance-wise and that offer a new way to play the game. And Chizuru, they did a phenomenal job with that. I think she's fun to play. She makes you think. It's not just fucking draw. I have infinite AP. I have infinite draw. No, you actually have to think while playing the card game, which is crazy. I can't be alone in thinking this, right? That you actually want to think when you play the card game? Isn't that the whole point? If something's so busted to the point where you don't even really have to think about it, is that, like, that takes the fun out of the game for me, personally. I don't know how you feel, but that's how I feel about it. I think Chizuru is completely fine. I think Yuki is completely fine. The problem is literally this unit and this unit. You know how you fix this problem? I can give you the answer right here. You fucking nerf them. And I'm not saying gut them. You leave everything the same. Leave everything the same here. Leave it all the same. Don't fucking touch anything except this card. And then all you have to do, limit this to fucking 5. That's it. She will still kill everything in the fucking game with a hit cap on this. 100%. She's still fucking good. She's just not ridiculous. She's still fucking S tier. You put a cap on this. Like in the current state of the game. That's all you have to do. Like the base scaling is high enough. This hitting 5 times does decent damage. You know, maybe 5's a little, you know, a little restrictive. Maybe just add a mechanic to the game like where they did with the boss is like after so many hits, like the damage just does less. Maybe she gets fucking fatigued, you know, punching the boss 50 fucking times. Introduce a fatigue mechanic to the game. And then the same thing goes with fucking Tressa. The big problem with Tressa is not in her kit. I think her kit's fine. I think she's a well-built unit, you know, well-designed. I like the you know, the dagger playstyle, the stacking, the debuff, the debuff unit. The thing that's fucking busted is this shit. And the fact that Agony's not affected by DR, and it has no limit on cap either. You know how you fix this shit? You put a debuff limit on the boss. You know what's funny? World of Warcraft, in its initial state of the game in Molten Core, there was fucking debuff limits on the boss. So you actually had to tell hunters to not use fucking their poison dot because it was unoptimal for DPS. You needed the debuff slots for other fucking things. And you know what that actually like adds complexity to the fucking game. If you can stack 500 fucking dots on one target, like honestly, I would rather be a debuff limit on Agony, but it does more damage. I think that would be better design. And then you add a unique tag to this. You add one stack of Agony, so it only takes once. You know, there's a lot of stuff that you could do without gutting this character to where she still feels really good to play, but she's not fucking absurdly busted. And that just goes with Mei Lin and her. They have to introduce some kind of limitation on what they can do. And I'm not saying they have to do that because, you know, I don't have the unit, I don't like to play it, etc., etc. No, I fucking have it. I play Tress on my alt account, clear all the content in the game. I have a crazy ass fucking Mei Lin. I have the shit. I'm just saying, it's not healthy for the game. And it makes it hard for them to release new characters, and it makes them hard to release bosses around that, because then you end up with the fucking leaderboards that look like they do. That's just full of Mei Lin and full of Tressa across the entire fucking thing. All the way down. Even on page 5, all the way fucking down. And I know you say, oh, but Warbalt, there's Yuki's over here. Yuki's being played in this new mode. Like, okay, guy, I'm gonna help your ignorance right now, okay? Yuki is what? Order. Here's order. Okay, 50% damage. Okay, increase damage amount by cards that carry inspiration. 50% damage. Increase all AoE. She has all AoE, right? 50% damage. That's why Yuki is even seeing any play at all in here. Okay? And the sad fucking part is, she almost has 3 times as much damage. Bonus. On top of her kit, and Mei Lin is still fucking like... Mei Lin's not a banner unit. I mean, granted, people might have got her with the selector, but this unit you could actually pull for. You could pull for fucking Yuki. Everyone could have her if they want. You know, you're not limited by RNG. Maybe they pick fucking Kalipe with the selector. This thing is still filled with Mei Lin from top to bottom, because she could do what this unit does. This mode's literally made for her. And Mei Lin still does it fucking better. Like, put a cap. That's it. Just nerf them, please. I think for the health of the game, they just need to do it. Because if they don't, they're just going to release well-designed, well-balanced, you know, characters. And then half of the community that doesn't share my sentiment is going to be like, this unit's dog shit. This unit needs a buff. Which is just fucking not the case. The unit plays fine. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people in the comments that don't agree with me. I'm sure those people didn't make it to this point in the video. If you enjoyed this video, you know, in typical Warbalt fashion, where I like to rant and talk, drop me a like. I appreciate it. If you want to drop a comment, I appreciate that too. Push this video out, etc. I'm not really like, this isn't about the monetization shit for me. Like, this is like, I want this game to succeed, and the path they're going right now with pissing off half the community, like, I think they just got to rip that fucking band-aid off and do some balance changes. That's it. Or it's going to turn into a shit show like their last game with power creep after power creep. Because they have 2 roads, right? Well, they have 3 roads. Okay? Picture this in your mind right now. 3 roads. 1 road, they nerf the fucking units. Okay? You know what's at the end of that road? Unit releases, they feel better. They can introduce more unique kits like Chizuru. People pull for the unit. They have different ways of playing the game. Okay? That's the first road. The second road, they leave things the way they are. Okay? Both of these other roads, they leave things the way they are. Okay? This is the 2 routes they can go. At the end of this middle road here, they release units, and this is the issue they deal with. This unit fucking sucks. This unit is trash. Why would I pull this unit? Because I already have these. Okay? So they have that. And then the next one, this is the power creep road. Okay? Well, this unit's already in the game, so we need to make a better version of it. And then we need to do it again. 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 To the point where, like, the entire community is just like, fucking fed up with every unit being better than the last one. Like, why pull it all? The next unit's just going to be better. You know? It's the only logical road is the one that take where you just fucking nerf things now so the game's better moving forward. Period. That's my opinion. If you don't agree with it, that's great. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. If you do agree with it, virtual fist bump. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
You fight as if you have 9 lives.